And it seems we're off.
All right, let's see. Oh, we've got a sword start as Uncle comes out with the sword in hand. Not too happy to see that. I kind of was hoping for a little bit harder start. What do you think?
Well, I mean, one sword doesn't really necessarily mean an easy seed, but I do like this shovel start.
Hey, do you want a fetch quest?
I always want a fetch quest, especially if my fetch quest leads to more fetch quests.
So shovel to mushroom?
Always.
All right, so we're gonna go here, see what Uncle has for us. Of course, it is that sword, so the players are gonna get a little bit of grace here to start with. Of course, they do still have to find those 40 pieces of Triforce, so let's see if those at least hold them off for a while. Got a big piece of heart also from the chest right there, and we seem to be almost neck and neck with everybody, as of course normal for a start like this. Now with that sword, I know that they practice a lot as far as escape is concerned, so Big Genghis, what do you think? We're going to see some 6-minute escapes?
Yeah, these will probably be some pretty good escape times considering our all-star lineup we have tonight. But after that, who knows? Let's hope that entrance isn't too forgiving. Oh, I spoke too soon. As we pick up, is that fire rod?
That is a fire rod right there in that first chest in the basement of the castle. Gonna make things a little bit even easier, as you can now one-shot the big key guard. As one of our people in chat did come out, hopefully we do get to see Purple Chest following Purple Chest later on in the run. So yep, if you're not aware of the rules of the race, there are 50 total pieces of Triforce. After they find 40, they win. First to 40 is the goal here. We do not have to kill Ganon. Just first to 40.
Well, to break chat's heart, unfortunately, we now have a green chest that may be escorting a purple chest along as we pick up the blue mail already. This has been a really, really easy opening so far.
Yeah, blue mail to begin with, sword, not really seeming like Troll Seed much at all. Dr. Bob opting to go with sword instead of fire rod, probably doesn't want to waste the frames switching. And a Cane of Brna in Zelda's chest.
This has been a very protection-heavy seed. As we see, we have Brna. We've got an extra heart piece, which we can only hope is the Sanctuary Heart at this point. We have the Cane of Brna, Blue Mail. I'm telling you, man, it looks like an easy seed, but let's not forget, the goal here is not to defeat Ganon. It's to find those 40 Triforce pieces, so you can have all the protection you want. If all those Triforce pieces are hiding away somewhere that none of these runners think about, then we'll still be here for a while.
And us and chat can only hope for that to happen. Tile piece now floating down and joining all of its brethren down on the ground, seeing if he can make his way out of escape in that 6-minute span. We have everyone else following suit, the green chest guiding Zelda along in a very weird way. And Kirby seems a little blue. Probably just blue from being a little sad that it's a sword start. Seems like Rick has picked up just a slight early lead, bringing Zelda along a little bit. We do have a couple of runners here. Actually, 3 of the 4 do have bombs, going to make escape a little bit easier. Rick has not yet found a bomb. I'm guessing he's going to be doing a little bit of farming here on his way out to the Sanctuary.
As we make our way into the sewer, having a little trouble with those snakes there. But let's see what this first chest of sewer has in store for us off on this right-hand side.
Yep, Danger Noodles definitely don't play nice. But we do have a small key in that chest. Gonna let us go a
Of
little
course,
bit
because
farther.
you got to get through that door.
Seems like Rick is still trying to find that bomb. It's going to slow him down a little bit, which might give us a little bit of grace for all the rest of the runners trying to catch up with them.
It's time to see what's behind that bombable wall.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be our first look here into the 3 chests in the back of Escape. Usually, of course, this is high. Oh, the hammer!
And a Triforce piece, and that is our first Triforce piece of the game. This is a pretty open-looking seed so far. We're a Moon Pearl and some Mitts away from Dark World access, which that'll really open the map up for our runners.
Yeah, I mean, the more items we get in the beginning, the more varied the locations that everything can be in. Maybe that'll cause a little confusion, a little divergence. Of course, us following 4 runners may not be the easiest thing, but we'll do our best to keep up with you guys. Ooh, a second Triforce piece in the Sanctuary. We're 38 away. And yes, chat, in case you were wondering, anyone can join the daily races. We, of course, have 4 featured runners at one time, but we do have a number of runners going at it today, and we will be, well, Big Angus will be letting us know who the first finisher is and everything, which hopefully will be quite a long while from now.
We get our tree pull, just 20 rupees, nothing to really write home about.
Hey, every little bit for Zora helps. And also the scam jar man. I didn't exactly catch what was under Lumberjack. Did you get that there?
No, I missed that. I noticed Dr. Bob here setting up a Houlihan room, I believe. He is not going to Kakariko without that 100 rupees, that's for certain.
Oh, that's the ice rod! Ice rod!
My.
Oh, wow! That's quite a development. And the seed may not be as nice as we think it is. If Aghanim is required to get that ice rod, we'll have to see how everything ends up with the Triforce pieces.
Oh, and there's the bow.
Bow, yep, definitely a lot of options opening up for our runners here early. Let's see exactly where this leads us to.
A tree pull for some bombs. Definitely nice considering how many we need for Kakariko and South Shore.
Now, of course, interesting to note is Dr. Bob did decide to go south first, currently making his way over to the bush game. I'm guessing he's doing blind bush game here, but he did not get the bow and does not know that the ice rod is under Lumberjack.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see Dr. Bob go for all these out-of-the-way positions right off the bat, and there we see it's a full heart container. Aaron's up there bombing open Blind's hut. We're about to see a whole treasure trove of goodies. Half magic, amazing. Our 3rd Triforce piece of the game, the solo arrow, and finally, a 2nd Triforce piece. So we're up to 4 out of 40. We're 1/10 of the way done already.
Not exactly the best news if you were hoping for an extremely long seed, but you know, I'm sure these runners are absolutely loving the amount of Triforce pieces that are coming their way.
And with those 100 rupees, it kind of makes Dr. Bob's tactic of using the Houlihan room a little questionable. But again, like you said, it's definitely good to have extra rupees when it comes time to go meet Mr. Zora.
And hopefully Mr. Zora does troll everybody.
Oh, and there is a Master Sword, Dr. Bob.
So,
Solar Rupee from Rick.
I apologize, Big Angus. You know, we have a fire source. We have a Master Sword.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Let's see if Twitch chat starts picking it up, because I mean, we're getting the makings here.
That ice rod seems more and more likely to be ending up in everyone's inventory.
Ooh, our favorite jar salesman had the Book of Medora, so we're going to trade in 100 rupees for some knowledge. Oh, and we totally missed the Cane of Samaria in the well. That's amazing. Our Tracker's, of course, picking it up. Tracker's doing a fantastic job, even with the route divergence that Dr. Bob took, but you guys are definitely on it. Way to go, guys. No, absolutely. We've got the Cane of Samaria already. That's 2 canes, a fire rod, a master sword, and a blue jerkin. It really seems like they're trying to be well protected for hopefully a boss fight.
So considering that Ganon isn't our ultimate goal, what do you think, which way do you think our runners are going to go? Are we going to see some sequence breaking in Eastern Palace? Are our runners going to rush down the desert?
With the quality of runners that we have today, we're definitely going to see a little bit of divergence over to Eastern Palace. Definitely something that you can clear now. We don't know if Desert is boots locked, which is something that we have to keep in mind, as that key might be on that torch. So throw up the Marin Jesuses. Let's hope that key is on the torch.
It seems Aaron and Slim Kirby are also blind running the race game.
They're going to get a little extra protection for their faith there, but it's definitely not a Triforce piece that they're looking for.
Oh, and Lamp is in the library. I don't know if we noticed that yet. Not that our caliber of runners will necessarily need it, but it definitely won't hurt.
Yep, that definitely puts boots into the logic of before Eastern Palace, as the game logic does say that we... Oh, Triforce piece from Digging Spot. That's not something that you normally find there.
Definitely not. I wonder who left that there.
I blame Din. Yep, as our ever-vigilant Twitch chat is pointing out, the lamp are boots lock, which means that Eastern Palace is hiding behind that logic. So there might be a chance of finding the boots soon, but not too soon, because, you know, for fun. All right, so we do see Slim Kirby seeming like he's heading his way over to Eastern Palace. Aaron is making his way down to the dam. Oh, maybe he's going to... Oh, are we getting a pedestal check?
We are getting a pedestal check.
Oh, and there's a Triforce piece. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I apologize for talking over you.
Oh, definitely no, quite all right. Aaron's skipping the chest for now and going straight to see what's at the bottom of the lake.
We also see what Sahasralaha is hiding behind his bamboo walls, and with his silver arrows, the one piece of note. I also see the dam had a wet piece of Triforce.
Red mail, though, inside the dam. This is a well-protected seed for sure.
Yeah, definitely going to be something if we see one of these runners take an early hit with, what, 6-7 hearts and red mail protection already? We do see Dr. Bob has caught up over into the woods. He has gotten his bow, and he is ready to go as well. And we do have Slim Kirby being our first of our runners into Eastern Palace. We're also going to see Aaron here take a dive into the Thieves' Cave, so we're going to see what the thief has for us today.
Rick is not too far behind, also heading his way up to Eastern Palace. Dr. Bob finally checking Lumberjack Ledge.
The thief hiding away a couple pieces of 3 pieces of Triforce, and we are 25% of the way there. Wow. This might actually go down as the kind of seed.
Most definitely, as we see there is another piece of the Triforce sitting right in that first chest of Eastern Palace. Aaron making his way over to Ice Rod Cave, and Dr. Bob not too far behind doing his South Shore check.
He's going to be very happy to see that Thieves' Cave and all those pieces of Triforce that he's got there.
Most definitely, and as we can see, this second chest here in Eastern Palace also has a Triforce piece. So we are just chunking away at the Triforce.
Ice Rod Cave has a little bit of continuation as far as the fetch quests are concerned. Mushroom, of course, there where the Ice Rod once lay. I gotta tell you, it's always amazing for me to watch someone clear that room without those skeletons popping up. I didn't even know it was a thing before Randos.
I was about to say, that's like definitely my favorite, like small, it's a very small thing and it saves you a couple seconds, but it's just, as someone who played the game as a young child, to come back and see that room, which is super memorable to me, and just be like, oh, they don't even need to spawn and you can get rid of them. That's just super satisfying.
It's satisfying, and the only thing is, of course, for me, it saves a whole lot more than a couple seconds. The caliber of runner that we have definitely is able to do those kinds of things in such a fast time, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
We have Mitz in the big chest of Eastern Palace as Aaron makes his way over to do some fake powder for Mr. Bad.
Ooh, this could be really interesting. The Bat hiding a piece of Triforce, and Aaron seems to really have just a knack for where these Triforce pieces are hiding. Rick and Kirby are making their way through Eastern Palace as quickly as speedrunners absolutely do. Save the frames, kill all the bad guys that you have to, and only the ones you have to. It seems Aaron and Dr. Bob are also on their way to Eastern Palace, while Kirby and Rick are finishing it up. Rick having an absolutely fantastic fight with Armos, gets rewarded with a compass, of course, for his trouble, and a crystal.
Well, the compass is always what you want to find in the back of Eastern Palace, but the silver arrows are really what make this fight just easy, just pure butter.
Kind of wish I had those as a kid when I was struggling with the pattern.
Absolutely. Are other runners picking up the silver arrows in Sahasrah's hut before hitting Eastern Palace? I'm sure they're very excited to see those this early on in the race.
How long did it take you before you could say that name correctly?
Let me tell you, it was, again, after the rando. That's when things really started to click in place for me, and a lot of practice. I actually spent a little bit amount of time studying the lore to help me to remember to search Agina's cave, because, fun fact, they're brothers.
I mean, the family resemblance is there.
Oh, definitely uncanny.
All right, Rick going back in escape for the bomb he did not have, so he's going to be a little bit behind. Going to find his hammer here and a Triforce piece for his trouble. So it's definitely not a wasted trip back into escape. But if you're just joining us, we are doing a 40 out of 50 Triforce piece hunt. We have Kirby and Rick already finishing Eastern Palace. We have Aaron and Dr. Bob, of course, currently in the depths of the palace. It seems like Kirby also did Houlihan Room to get some of his extra rupees. I saw he also dove into Eastern, the right-hand side room of Eastern, to get himself some more rupees.
Yeah, those rupees are definitely important early on. He's only 60 away from going up and checking Zora, which is a very item-dense place at this time. You have the two hidden behind the waterfall, you have Zora himself, and you have the ledge.
Now, the one thing I gotta say, it is interesting. They have a hammer, they have the power gloves, which means that it is going to be easier for them to find Dark World. They do need to find the Moon Pearl, and if the Ice Rod is anyway, the Ice Rod only lives right now if we absolutely have to kill Aghanim to get it to kill Trinex or something.
That is true, but that doesn't necessarily mean we won't see Aghanim. If that Moon Pearl is on Pyramid Ledge, then to Aghanim we'll still have to go regardless of the necessity of the Ice Rod.
You're saying what my dreams are thinking. Now we do have Rick going into the desert, going to put that book to good use. So first look at what is on the ledge over there, which is a heart container, a little bit more health for the seed. Aaron and Dr. Bob doing an almost simultaneous grab of the power glove. Wonderful to see runners of this caliber neck and neck. It does seem Aaron is a little shy about the dark room or doesn't want to break the logic. Dr. Bob doesn't feel exactly the same way, so he decides he's going to go ahead and finish off Eastern Palace while he's here.
Now we see Rick heading up into desert. He's about to check the first chest here.
Yeah, this will let us know if it's boots locked or not, so let's see exactly what we were dealing with.
Well,
Oh!
we have some flippers, so that puts Zora in logic 100%. Well, he was in logic already, but that definitely makes the whole area more appealing, as the wishing fountain is in logic now, as well as the hobo. And it just adds tons of exploration to our runners.
Yep, Waterfall of Wishing definitely does add, what is it, like 5 after Hobo? 5 items and locations available for those Triforce pieces. We'll see if Zora got his hands on one and was able to gorge himself on a piece of Hylian lore. We are getting a check of Agina's Cave here by Aaron, so we're going to see what's in here. It seems like 100 rubies, not too bad of an investment, stealing the old man's retirement fund, but hey, he won't need it.
And with Slim Kirby picking up that chilled mushroom, it's only a matter of time before he goes up to Zora with only 40 rupees away, which he's going to pick up right now. I think we smell a Zora play. And because he hasn't found those flippers yet, he's going to fake flippers, so that's always nice to see.
And don't quote me on it, but I think it's actually a pretty good play. I mean, right now it seems like one of the most item-dense locations that he has available to him. Rick did go to steal a key, so if we do need to finish Desert Palace, it is something that's going to come back to haunt him. Hopefully it's something that that does come back to haunt him, because, you know, we like them to suffer just a little. I did not catch what was in that first chest.
That was the map. And now we have the compass. A very, very unfortunate play by Rick.
Or fortunate for us?
Oh, of course, for the chat, for us viewers, it's most definitely a very fortunate play. But that's going to add a lot of time onto his run here.
Now, I don't know if you got to see with all 4 runners that we're having on our screen. Kirby was doing a little duck, dip, diving, and dodging, as he is currently fake flippering, which means one little blast and it's a one-hit KO. The hobo's jar magically turned into 100 rupees. Seems like with that kind of money, he didn't actually need to be a hobo.
Nah, he seemed to be living the high life. I also really enjoyed that fake flipper off of the little hobo ledge back into the Lake Hylia. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, it looks like a relatively simple trick, but try pulling it off. It's a showcase for how talented these runners are.
And we're making our way up to the wishing well. We'll see what's inside those 2 chests. Oh, no. Because we don't have Moon Pearl.
Right, you need the Moon Pearl to reset your state and allow him to walk on water, so I guess maybe he forgot he didn't have the Moon Pearl?
I would have made the same mistake, so, I mean, I definitely don't blame him. But we are going to turn in that mushroom, and I don't recall if he also did the fake powder for the bat, so I wonder... He's just going all in. He's turning in the mushroom.
We do see on Aaron and Doctor's side, they are farming up some of those rupees for Zora. They're going to be able to check the Waterfall of Wishing, unlike Slim Kirby. And Kirby getting a bottle for his troubles. Not sure if the play up here was worth it for him.
Yeah, I don't think so, but the bee is always helpful if we do have to fight the moth, and that's always a strat I enjoy to see.
It really it rustled me something fierce the first time I saw somebody take a bee and fight the moth with it. Chat pointing out how amazing it was to patch out the soft lock from the fake flippers. Yeah, the people who do these randomizers are absolutely amazing. I mean, between the randomizer having so many different play modes, not only the play modes that they have, but also throwing in a little Super Metroid love in there. There are definitely a lot of ways to play some of your favorite games from back in your childhood, or new games that you might have discovered recently.
Yeah, I must say, like, this is, first of all, my favorite Legend of Zelda game. And secondly, with the randomizer, it breathes a whole new life into a game that I have loved since childhood, and it's really brought a lot of new fond memories.
And a lot of thinking.
Definitely a lot of thinking. And Aaron also picks up his bee as he makes his way up to Zora. He has the flippers though, so we'll be able to see what's inside the Waterfall of Wishing.
Dr. Bob also picking up his flippers. He's going to decide to save and quit after the flippers. I feel like he's going to go ahead and go use them now that he does have access up to that Waterfall of Wishing, and get rid of Zora at the same time. Now, I did see Zora had a piece of heart. I did not get to see on Rick's screen what the waterfall had, but we are going to see it here on Aaron's screen. It seems like a heart container and the Moon Pearl. Oh, boy. You know, funny enough, had Kirby gone in there and taken those chests from swimming, he might have been able to reset. I'm not sure if that's the way it works, but
yeah, I'm not
that's
certain
something that could have worked.
either. It's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, we'll see if chat knows whether or not he could have reset after picking up that Moon Pearl there.
Rick now turning in his mushroom as Dr. Bob gets 100 rupees from the sleeping hobo.
Now, never in my life did I think I would see a swimming chest, but here we are, guys. That chest has arms. I'm just not sure where they are. Kirby going to be a little rustled to find the flippers there after spending his time going up to Zora, but at least now he has them.
Chat saying that the Moon Pearl could not be sequence broken, so it sounds like that glitch wouldn't have worked unless you entered the cave with the Moon Pearl.
Well, thank you, Twitch chat, for teaching me something. I happen to disagree. My mom is not a chest with arms, but thank you very much for your concern. Now we are going to get a sick kid check here from Aaron. Let's see what the Boy Wonder has for us today.
We see Dr. Bob heading to the Dark World, the first of our runners to do so.
All right, we'll see if he's going into Hype Cave here. See a little bit hype of what we have for here. Let's see, out of 10, what kind of hype we have here.
got a Triforce piece, the hook shot, a second Triforce piece, a third Triforce piece, and baby's first shield. Not too bad.
Yeah, besides Fisher-Price shield number 1, seems like a pretty hype cave. A blue meringue here for Aaron. Already has the red meringue, so not much help here at all. Dr. Bob looks like he's heading towards Palace of Darkness. That's going to be interesting to see. Aaron playing to Skull Woods is going to be fun to watch at least.
Most definitely. It seems Dr. Bob is doing a pyramid ledge check.
And on the pyramid ledge, a Triforce piece.
And that is number 17 for Mr. Dr. Bob-tastic, who is in the lead out of our 4 featured runners for the evening.
He's almost halfway there. Seems like all the runners are spread out in all kinds of places. We are going to get a Sea House check and Swagnet.
We see Dr. Bob making his way up to the Palace of Darkness. We have Rick checking Hype Cave, and Slim Kirby is now in Skull Woods.
Piece of heart there from the Bombable Hut, and Rick getting all of the hype that's there. I see chat rated it about a 9 out of 10. I have to agree with them.
Slim Kirby picking up the key from underneath the skull in Skull Woods. Dr. Bob going down left side of Palace of Darkness to check that chest. Survey says a key.
Magic Cape there in Thieves Town, so that's definitely going to put Bumper Cave into logic. So we'll see if they if that's a play Aaron makes. Rick also going up here to get his Triforce piece from the pyramid. And we're currently having 3 of the 4 of our runners just making their way through dungeons, seeing what they can find.
Slim Kirby going straight for Mothula. Wonder if he's going to utilize that B. He is not with that half magic in red mail. There's no need to. Rick going to check the other half of the... Oh, no. We're moving past. We're going straight to Catfish, it seems.
The tile got turned into a key, and it's kind of fun to watch the key up top, the chest on the bottom.
I completely missed that. I'm glad you pointed that out, as I'm following Rick right now, making his way up Kirby, picking up the crystal from Mothula.
And Mothula having all of a compass.
That's one thing I definitely enjoy about Triforce hunts, is all these out-of-the-way gambles that you would never make in a typical speed run, you get to see, because those Triforce pieces, they can be anywhere.
And we want them to be. Catfish also having a piece of Triforce. Seems like the creatures around the world are gorging themselves on Triforce pieces, so that'll be fun to watch everyone try to scramble and find them. Hopefully that is something that they have to go out of their way to find. I don't expect we're going to have a lot of issue with any of the runners as far as Moth Fight is concerned, as we see Aaron pick up the boots here in Thieves Town, and of course, gotta go fast.
Always, and that's going to give him a great advantage if no one else hits Thieves Town sometime soon, because that speed increase is just vital.
And remind me, what was in the library? I seem to remember the lamp.
Oh,
the lamp was in the library.
The lamp. So it'd be interesting to see if anyone goes back for the lamp again. With this caliber of runners, I'm sure they have most, if not all, of the dark rooms fairly memorized.
I know if Turtle Rock Dip is needed, I personally would not like to go there without the lamp, but these runners are exceptional, so it may not be something that we see going back. Seems like Blind was also storing away a piece of the Triforce, so after we pick up Blind in Disguise, we're also going to go check the big chest here.
Oh, another Triforce piece in Palace of Darkness in the Turtle Room, bringing Dr. Bob up to 18.
Now, if you're fairly new to Rando, I would not suggest trying what Dr. Bob is currently trying here. He is whirling through the dark room with nothing but his sword as a guide, and it's absolutely fantastic to watch someone do that.
And apparently we both missed Dr. Bob picking up the mirror. Slim Kirby gambling, finding 100 rupees and a couple of bombs.
Aaron going through that scripted fight with Blind does take a hit or two, but with red mail and all those hearts, I don't expect he's going to have any issue whatsoever.
Dr. Bob is menu buffering a bomb jump right now. Oh, forgot he didn't have the big key though, maybe.
Hard to keep track of everything with as much as we have going on. Definitely the big key is something that he could have forgotten he didn't pick up. Or maybe he's hoping that he picks it up here at the bottom chest.
Oh, and he did. Amazing.
Not going to say I called it, but I called it. And gets a Triforce piece for his trouble. I feel like it's worth it. Yeah, absolutely.
Most definitely worth it. I believe Aaron is going up to check Bumper Cave, and it's just a heart.
And we have Rick currently checking Paradox. He gets his Titan's Mitt, Bombos, and a Triforce piece so far. We also get Magic Powder and another Triforce piece. Wow, that cave was loaded.
I think we have a misnomer. That should be New Hype Cave. As Dr. Bob mirrors out of Palace of Darkness and heads right back in.
There are 50 Triforce pieces scattered around the world. We're only trying to find 40. First to 40 is our winner. Currently about 40 minutes in, and we have Rick taking a lead here with 20 pieces. He's halfway there.
Aaron playing the dig game here. So far 17, 18 digs. I believe that was 22 for a piece of heart. That is very unfortunate.
Very not worth.
And Rick seems to be making his way over to Tower of Hera. Oh, no. First he's going to check off that tablet. Again, that's what I love about this mode, right? Triforce Hunt, is because this tablet check, going for catfish as early as the runners have, all these out-of-the-way plays that, again, you would almost never make in a normal rando. We get to see all of them. And he's rewarded with 1 rupee.
Oh man, that is never a fun thing to find. That one in the 1 arrow chest. Now he is going to go into Tower of Hera here, so we'll see what if he's needing to go into the basement. And basement had maps, so there's no need to continue there. We're going to probably check the chest in the back of Hera there to see if the key is there. Big key, so he's going to go up the tower.
Dr. Bob clearing out some turtles as he makes his way to fighting King Helmasaur. Aaron also making his way to Palace of Darkness.
The King Helmasaur fight here is going to be pretty trivial with silver arrows and as much health and armor as they have. So Dr. Bob will be making short work of the Helmasaur King here shortly.
Yep, just 17 swings of the hammer and 1 silver arrow, and down goes the king.
Long live the king.
Slim Kirby entering phase 3 of the blind fight here. So he should be making short work of him, deciding to use the cane as he's down to 1.5 hearts.
Smart strategy here.
Most definitely, always a recommended strategy when you're down that low on health.
And Rick is making his way up to Moldorm, also affectionately known as Trolldorm, one of my least favorite fights ever growing up.
He's definitely a gatekeeper of sorts, and I have to say, much harder than King Helmasaur as a young child. But with a few swings of that level 3 sword, down he goes. And we're rewarded with a small key.
And the Pendant of Courage. Now we do know on pedestal there is a Triforce piece, so it's not a terrible idea to grab him. I'm not sure if Rick did check the pedestal, but if he does blind pull it, he will be rewarded. Kirby seeming to have a little trouble with the murder crows here, and the other various wildlife around Hyrule. As we see, Dr. Bob is working his way up to the catfish, and Rick is currently checking Spiral Cave.
If Aaron just picked up the mirror, we can see it was down in the basement of Palace of Darkness in that skeleton room.
Whenever you're playing Rando, Spiral Cave just seems like such a long gamble, and I'm not sure it paid off here with a single piece of heart with as much health as they have.
Especially not considering Rick doesn't even have the boots yet, so that's a very long walk.
We'll see if it takes him a while to get over to Thieves Town. It may not just be on his radar yet.
Slim Kirby digging. Unfortunately, just a heart piece, I believe.
Floating Island looked like it was a heart container. I only caught a slight glimpse of it. Rick is going to check to see what is needed to enter Choco Rock. He's hoping for Bombos. I'm hoping for Ether.
It is Bombos.
He's definitely going to get it open here. With no Ice Rod, he can't kill Trinex. We do know where the Ice Rod is. It is under the tree of Lumberjacks in the Light World. So if there's a Triforce piece there that we need, then we're going to need to do it.
Looks like he's saving that for later right now, as he's making his way to Hookshot Cave.
Graveyard Ledge netting Dr. Bob a Triforce piece, so another good gamble on his part.
We got a Quake Medallion. Another B. A Triforce piece. And a second Triforce piece from Hookshot Cave.
That puts him at 23 out of 40, and he's got to be feeling pretty good about it right now.
Most definitely. 45 minutes in and you're over halfway done. That's a decent pace.
He is going to be checking this. I believe people call this Super Bunny Cave. I have no idea why. Gets a Triforce piece for 2 Triforce pieces. Wow, he's really cleaning up out there.
Dr. Bob checking Bumper Cave. Aaron's making his way through Dark Maze. Again, something I would not attempt.
But we do know the prize at the end of it is worth it completely with that Triforce piece in that big chest. Seems like Rick did go back into Turtle Rock, so we're going to get our first glimpse here at Turtle Rock and what it has. First cave had a small key in it, so we'll see if he checks the 2 right chests as well. I hope he does with as much of a lead as he has.
Aaron on his way to King Helmasaur. As Rick pulls himself into the abyss and heads up to check another chest.
Gets rewarded with a Triforce piece for his troubles. Definitely something that he wanted to see there. 26 out of 40 for him. Seems like the gambles that he's taking are really starting to pay off. Now, he does not have boots, which is going to slow him down a little bit, as opposed to someone like Kirby, who does have the boots and is able to move around a little faster here. But let's see if the Triforce pieces are kind to him and he's able to pull away with this one. Seems like Pokey is trolling Rick there a little bit. It's kind of fun to watch.
And speaking of trolls, here's Chain Chomps, which seem to be giving not too much trouble right now. Rick is a master Chain Chomp tamer.
We've got Aaron going into his Helmasaur fight, and that's going to be a quick one for him as well, as mentioned earlier with those silver arrows, so that's going to be fun to watch a little bit. Rick is going to continue to check Turtle Rock, and Dr. Bob is going to start clearing out all the wonderful treasures of Fusetown. Kirby does seem like he's making his way up to the Turtle Rock Tower of Hera. We'll see which way he goes first. Looks like he might go for that Ether Medallion, or Ether Tablet, and Hera first before seeing if he has to dip Turtle Rock. And once again, guys, if you're just joining us, this is a 40 out of 50 Triforce hunt. The Triforce pieces can be anywhere in any chest. Within logic, of course, there are still going to be little keys and big keys and compasses and maps. But we are trying to find the 40 pieces of the Triforce to win. We currently have Rick seemingly in the lead with 26 out of 40 pieces. Please, if you do like randomizers, or if you just love great gameplay, please go ahead and give these guys a follow. Follows are free, and each one of these are fantastic racers. Aaron's going to go ahead and check Bonk Rocks here, and rewarded with a piece of Triforce for his troubles.
Dr. Bob making his way through Thieves Town. Gonna open up the sunroof for blind. Rick making quick work of Turtle Rock as he makes his way towards Mimic Cave. Bypassing it, going for the big chest, which is another Triforce piece.
Yeah, it seems like Rick doesn't have the mirror, since he hasn't dipped. What was it? It was Thieves Town that had the
That's
mirror.
true. It wasn't. It was in Palace of Darkness, actually.
Oh, Palace of Darkness. I apologize.
Mhm.
Rick seems like he's going to be going real deep into Turtle Rock. Hasn't found any reason to stop, and we're not going to give him one. We're going to probably check to see what's on Laser Bridge. And once again, if you're wondering about the quality of these runners, try doing this room in the dark. I know once you know the pattern, it's pretty simple, but as a kid, this sure did troll me.
I can still hardly do this room with the lights on, let alone in the dark. We see Aaron with the super speed glitch as he makes his way inside Spectacle Rock, Slim Kirby picking up the pendant from Troll Dorm, and Dr. Bob escorting this lovely, completely innocent maiden to the sunny room in the back of blinds.
I wonder why that maiden hasn't been put into a crystal yet.
Very good question. She's lucky. That's all it is. Nothing suspicious about her. She was just in a cage. It's fine. Definitely not a big spooky monster.
Absolutely not a spooky monster whatsoever.
I spoke too soon. She's a big spooky monster.
Who didn't see that coming?
Aaron dismantling that tablet for the low price of 1 rupee.
I was focused on the blind fight. Didn't get to see everything that Rick got, but I did see where he did get green goo here, so he does have 3 bottles on him, where it seems like Dr. Bob doesn't have one yet. That just shows the route divergence that our wonderful runners have taken. That chest opening animation to collect crystal is fantastic. If I'm not incorrect, and it seems like Rick did pick up his level 3 shield there on the bridge, hopefully I will be able to see a little bit more about what was on that bridge when Kirby is tackling it.
Dr. Bob clearing out the village of outcasts.
Kirby opening up Turtle Rock here. Seems like he's going to take his dive after checking Hookshot Cave and the like. From everything I've seen, doesn't seem like a bad call, and he's going to be pleasantly surprised at all the pieces of Triforce that are everywhere up on this Death Mountain. Aaron joining his fight with Troll Dorm with the Temper Sword is going to be absolutely no problem for him if he can get a hit in.
Dr. Bob picking up that lamp, it seems.
Hey look, Dr. Bob's in Logic. And yeah, chat, for those of you wondering, there is a delay to prevent screen watching, so that's not something that the runners do. Also, you know, if you're doing this, you're doing it for the fun of it. You know, you're doing it for the challenge of speedrunning against other people who are also just as good at the game as you. So screen watching just doesn't seem like something that people would do.
Chat pointing out that Slim Kirby has tied the lead with Rick here. I mean, this is still any man's game, with Aaron and Dr. Bob tied as well for second with just 24 pieces, only 3 behind.
Yeah, definitely any man, woman, tiles, chests, Kirby's, or bunnies game to win. Yep, Slim will make his way up into this room, find a Triforce piece, and get himself to 28. He should find a couple other pieces here in Turtle Rock, which is going to give him the lead at least temporarily. Aaron going to be very excited about this Paradox Cave check, finding a couple pieces of Triforce, Magic Powder, and Bombos, as well as the Titan's Mids. We're also going to get a check on Cave 45 from Dr. Bob Task, see what the cave has for us there.
Rick will be picking up his boots soon enough. If memory serves, they are here in Thieves Town.
Yeah, they should be at the chest at the end of this hallway. And Dr. Bob did pick up a piece of Triforce there in Cave 45, so hopefully that's not something that too many runners miss. Seems like Aaron's also making his way into T-Rock, as we see Rick chugging along after finding those Pegasus boots.
You think Rick's worried he's behind now, considering how long those boots have been available to him?
It's definitely something that's got to be weighing on his mind. I mean, it's definitely one of the first checks that I personally make whenever I do run a rando. So he's got to be guessing that Aaron, Dr. Bob, or Kirby did make Thieves Town one of their first trips. So let's see if he starts taking a couple of gambles on chest locations. We're also seeing
making his way into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, Swamp Palace is with 6 chests available as far as items are concerned. Definitely a item dense location, a great place for him to check currently. Aaron picking up his Quick Medallion B and a couple pieces of Triforce here from Hookshot Cave. We're going to see Rick being the last of our runners to face blind in this highly scripted fight. Just goes to show the intense amount of practice that they have put in just to be able to beat this, where many people have failed before them. The first chest here in Swamp Palace, giving us the big key, meaning he's going to be able to check the big chest immediately. Do you think he's going to dip left side?
I think you always got to dip left side, especially Dr. Bob. There's no way he's going to pass that up. It's worth the extra couple seconds. Again, like I said, those Triforce pieces, they can be anywhere. So it's definitely a gamble I would make at least.
Now, Big G, Aaron does have 30 pieces of the Triforce, going to pick up his 31st one here. We're kind of getting down into the nitty-gritty. Aaron, of course, picking up the lead. I did not see that coming, but...
Absolutely not.
Do you think we're going to have to dip into GT for those last couple of pieces?
You know, we can only hope, and that's the best thing about Triforce Hunt, is the more you find, the less there are available. So the more out of your way you have to go in order to get that 40 out of 50.
Now remember, we do have a piece on the pedestal. Aaron's showing off a wonderful dash Burna there. Always wonderful to see somebody do that. It's one of my favorite tricks. But we do have a piece of the Triforce on the pedestal, so that might be something that is in play if you have 39 out of 40, and you're looking just for that last one, happen to have a couple pendants on you.
Right you are, exactly. If the 40th Triforce piece is not that pendant, or the pedestal rather, I'm gonna be a little upset.
I think we're all going to be a little heartbroken.
Dr. Bob lifting the skull up from underneath the statue. I'll still never understand how that works.
Kirby also finishing up his dip into Turtle Rock. Without the Ice Rod, can't check Trinex, so he'll be saving quitting here and going on to friendlier places. He seems like he's staying on Death Mountain. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to check. Do you think he's going to check Spike Cave?
I mean, Spike Cave's definitely in logic, and it's those out-of-the-way places that'll make or break some of these runners, I'm sure.
And it's amazing. We have 31, 29, 29, and 29 an hour in, and wow, we're so close. It's so neck and neck. A lot of these people, a lot of the racers are just following up with a lot of the checks that other people have done, but they're right on each other's heels. Slim Kirby taking advantage of some of those invincibility frames to do the hook shot. Gonna have to switch over to... Oh, he's refilling his magic burst and then switching over to the cape. Berna, make a liar out of me, why don't you? All of that for a heart piece. Not
Rick
worth it.
battling the moth with his sword as opposed to the fire rod here. As Dr. Bob makes quick work of the cream puffs hanging around Argus.
Yeah, Rick's having a really hard time. The moth's getting a lot of invincibility from those spikes, but finally does get the moth down. Going to be rewarded for a compass for his troubles.
Chat asking, the chest bunny sprite is a bottle, which we know is a vanilla item you receive from the chest.
Aaron dipping into Mimic Cave here. And the Quake medallion, or I'm sorry, the Ether medallion being there. Now that isn't something that Kirby or Rick were able to get, as neither of them had the mirror at that time. So that's our first look at Ether. That might come into play if Mire is necessary.
Yeah, and Ether and Mire definitely wouldn't be good for Slim Kirby or Rick. Mimic Cave isn't something you exactly want to go all the way back for.
No, definitely not. The amount of time lost is going to be huge if that's something they need to go back for.
Aaron now ahead by 3 Triforce pieces, though only 8 left.
That's amazing. They're so close together. Now it looks like Dr. Bob, he opened up Death Mountain and then decided to go back for Bonk Rocks. I do believe there was a piece of Triforce in here, so a good choice on his part. Kirby also going up and getting that lamp. So you'll be the, I believe, second of our runners to pick up that lamp. It seems like Dr. Bob is going to make use of that lamp and go save the old man in Death Mountain. See if the old man has himself a piece of Triforce.
Unfortunately, he does not have a piece of Triforce, but he does have that level 3 sword. So a nice consolation prize.
The old man is armed.
Now, chat asking about how to change the number of Triforce pieces. I believe as of version 29, you are stuck at 20. You used to be able to change it by changing the difficulty. I'm not quite sure how this particular seed was generated.
I believe it is a custom seed used for these races. Yes, chat, Triforce pieces can be in Ganon's Tower, so of course you will have to pick up the crystals to make your way in there, and we can only hope. All right, so looking at it now, we have 32 pieces of Triforce on Aaron, 30 pieces on Slim Kirby, 30 on Dr. Bob Tastic, and 29 on Rick. For a while there, I thought Dr. Bob might have been a little bit behind, but he seems like he's really just hanging in there with all the checks that he's made.
Yeah, Dr. Bob is definitely making up some lost ground as Rick is kind of just spinning his tires here.
If he does go to K45, he is going to get himself a piece of the Triforce. Currently looks like he's going to be going to the digging game, and I'm going to be severely disappointed. And don't forget, guys, Speed Gaming channels are always looking for volunteers. If you feel that's something that you would like to do, I believe the bots have dropped a link in there, so please feel free to go ahead and sign up. As well as give a follow to these amazing runners doing a wonderful job here, our 4 featured runners. Aaron is so close. He's got to be feeling the heat now after 33. Seems like he's going to start doing the blacksmith chain with Jeremiah. Probably going to check pegs as well. Was Aaron the one who did fake powder earlier?
I do not recall. It's a very good question. He's going to check hammer pegs. Rick up, saving and quitting because he doesn't have that mirror, but is right on Aaron's heels, picking up his 30th Triforce piece from Stumpy, which I don't believe anyone else has done yet.
We did see one other person do that. I think it was Aaron that did that. And Aaron, of course, picking up his butter sword in Peg Cave, so not too terrible of an upgrade. I'm going to go with not too bad. Dr. Bob finishing off Troll Dorm here. Gonna get the Pendant of Courage. Aaron got a blue goo bottle from the blacksmiths. Gotta be some really great blacksmiths to make a bottle with goo in it out of hammers.
Aaron saving, quitting with that chest, and most definitely a hard feat to pull off to turn what looks like a sword to me into a bottle full of liquid. Dr. Bob making his way to East Death Mountain.
Yep, and with those boots, he's going to make short work of it. No problem. And not something you see every day. A piece of tile holding a giant shield with a chest following it. I think that goes under things only gamers can say they've done.
Right you are, Dr. Bob making short work of Spiral Cave with those boots.
Purple chest hiding a piece of the Triforce. Aaron now 34 out of 46 locations left for him to look for. I believe he's going to go check Bombo's tablet for that piece of heart. Of course, we know it's a piece of heart. He does not, but going to be a little disappointed there at least. Kind of funny, we haven't found Flute yet, which means Meyer may not be needed to collect all 40 pieces. So we've got two pieces here, two pieces of Triforce here in Paradox Cave. That's going to put Dr. Bob up to 33 and a healthy second place. Just goes to show how many checks he's done in the overworld, and how he wasn't really as far behind as we thought he was.
Yeah, again, that just goes to show that anybody at this point can win this. It all comes down to those gambles. It all comes down to trying to read an impossible seed. As we see Rick making short works of hammer pegs, going to get his level 4 sword as soon as that bony chicken gets out of the way.
Aaron gonna take his dip here into Swan Palace, find that big key right there in that first chest. We are seeing Slim Kirby going to finish up Palace of Darkness, and Dr. Bob taking his turn into Turtle Rock. Rick taking that purple chest over to the Thief. Going to be really happy to see that piece of Triforce in there. Dr. Bob is going to check all the wonderful locations in East Death Mountain and going to be pleasantly surprised at all the pieces of Triforce that are hiding there. Now, if I remember, Super Bunny does have 2 pieces of Triforce, which is going to put him in the lead. Am I correct?
You are correct. I believe they are both pieces of Triforce. There's one. There's the second one. So yes, Dr. Bob now in the lead with 35 pieces. Only 5 left to go.
Wow, and this is really starting to come down.
After the purple chest. Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I apologize. No, this is really coming down to the wire, going to be real close.
Yeah, most definitely. Rick entering the Dark World. I wonder what he's going to do. Without that mirror, Swamp Palace is not an option.
He might be thinking about a Palace of Darkness play, and he's heading that way.
Oh, right you are, and he's going to get that mirror, which is going to go throw Swamp Palace back into play, and maybe he'll make his way through Desert as well.
Aaron up to 36 pieces, Dr. Bob up to 37. We are 3 pieces away. Now, he's definitely going to find a piece here on the right-hand side of Turtle Rock, putting him 2 away. We might actually almost be in no mode. I don't remember if we have 3 pieces in total here in Turtle Rock, but we might be really close.
Definitely an exciting race. Rick and Kirby still tied for 3rd with 32 pieces apiece, only 8 away from the goal. Aaron right behind Dr. Bob with 36.
I'm actually like ridiculously excited right now, and my heart is pumping for Dr. Bob. I gotta wonder what he's feeling right now.
One can only imagine what Dr. Bob is thinking and going through right now, being so close to the end with so many chests available in Turtle Rock, especially now that you're 2 away from the end.
Those overwhelm checks are really starting to pay off. It also pays off that he did Thief Sound so early, he got them boots. It definitely helped him catch up so much.
And quick update here. We have 4 racers done already. In first place, we have Inknun with an official time of 1:06:21. And second is Sea Falcon with a time of 1:12:29. Third, right after, is Acute Anthrax with 1:12:56. And then fourth is Chloe Prower with a 1:13:33. So congratulations to our runners who have finished already. I'm sure our runners here being featured on Speed Gaming 3 are not too far behind.
Absolutely fantastic job by those runners, especially the 106. Wow. Those checks must have really paid off for them. Aaron's still sitting on those 36 pieces. His heart must be pumping right now, as must Dr. Bob's. I know Kirby's a little bit disappointed from what came from Bombo's tablet, and Rick is slowly making his way through that Palace of Darkness. Oh, is that 38 from Aaron?
I believe that is, and that ties up our runners again. We have 2 in first place, Dr. Bob and Aaron, only 2 away. And with all those duns already, I'm sure their hearts must be beating out of their chests.
Aaron here looking like he's going to check the island, and you think an Ice Palace check here?
At this point, most definitely, I would think an Ice Palace check. And it's right here. Let's see what's up on ledge. Piece of heart.
Not what you want to be holding above your head right now.
Definitely not. Oh, are we getting a hobo check? If I remember, that was 100 rupees, so that's going to be disappointing for Aaron.
Absolutely, stealing the hobo's lifelong holdings is not going to help Aaron get to those 40 pieces any faster.
Bob doing Mimic Cave for his Ether Medallion.
With no flute, my dream of having to use Ether to get into Meyer just dead in the water.
And Rick finally picking up his mirror. Again, that has to be killing him, knowing that it was right here in Palace of Darkness the whole time.
Dr. Bob at 39 pieces. The hype is real right now. The hype is real. I gotta wonder who chat is rooting for. I'm wondering if they're thinking that Dr. Bob's got this in the bag with one piece left, or if Aaron's gonna pull it out with this play for our Pyramid Fairy.
A pyramid play when you have 38 out of 40? Now that's a gamble.
Yeah, but it might just be the last two pieces he needs. We're gonna see if this is gonna play off for him and move him straight from second into a swift win. Dr. Bob just one piece away. So close.
Chat thinking there's still a piece left in Turtle Rock. The hype is real. The race is on. Oh, Aaron hasn't done the ledge check, and that puts him at 39. Again, we are tied up, and it all comes down to what Fat Fairy is for us today.
If Pyramid Fairy has one piece, then Aaron has got this in the bag. I'm not sure Bob's going to get there in time if that piece is... It is! And Aaron is the first of our featured runners to find all 40 pieces. Wow.
So a quick update. Aaron placed 7th overall. In 5th, we had Varanita with a time of 1:14.51. In 6th, we have One Up 40 with 1:15.13. Trojan Dude in 6th place with 1:17.27. And our own Aaron Dobb with an official time of 1:17.44 for that sweet, sweet 7th place.
That Pyramid Fairy sure did play off for him. I completely forgot he didn't check the pyramid. Amazing.
Absolutely
Great sense of what's needed to come up. It was fantastic. We are going to see if we're going to get him in here for an interview. Hopefully him and Bob will be joining us soon. It seems like he'll be moving over towards Hera. Let's see what play he's making right now. Kirby is currently still in Swamp Palace. Rick is also in Swamp Palace. He's kind of sitting there for a second. I'm wondering what exactly he was doing there. Dr. Bob was hoping for that 50% chance at a fairy, and he is going to be checking Spike Cave and also going to be sorely disappointed. But yeah, I completely forgot. Throw them GGs in chat for Aaron. Absolutely outstanding race from him. 7th place is not too terrible, not too bad at all with the quality of runners that we have going on.
Absolutely not, and I do believe we'll be getting Aaron in here in just a couple minutes for an interview.
Kirby and Rick at 35 and 34 respectively. Bob looking desperately for that last piece. We know that he almost had it in the bag, just missing that one little piece. Let's see where he can go to get it.
Well, taking a quick check into King's Tomb here. for only a piece of heart, but that fills him back up, keeps him going just a little bit.
I have to think that he would have rather hold the Triforce piece over his head and go right into that room.
No, that's crazy talk. I don't know what you're talking about. Who wants to finish such an amazing seed?
Not me. That's why I commentate.
Exactly. We're here till the end.
Though it does not seem like the end is too far off here, with Kirby getting up to his 37th piece, Rick at his 35th, and in here now we do have Aaron. Aaron, GG's on being our first featured runner to finish the race.
Hey, thank you. GG's, everyone.
Absolutely no problem. So what did you think of the seed?
Yeah, this was wacky. As far as Triforce hunts goes, I mean, it's probably just because it's, 40 out of 50 rather than the 20 out of 30, but it's like, I feel like all the Triforce pieces were all bunched up and you would find always like 2 or 3 or 5 at a time.
Yeah, it seemed like East Death Mountain did have all of the plays for you. Now, we were watching there at the end. I don't know if you know, we probably don't, but Dr. Bob has been on his 39th piece here for what seems about 5 minutes, and you were 3 away when you, you were 2 away when you made your play for Pyramid Fairy, and that allowed you to get the win. Absolutely fantastic senses on your part. What made you think to go for there?
I had set it up very early in the race because I knew where the 2 red crystals were, and I had it in my head the whole time that I was going to go straight to the Pyramid Fairy right after Swamp Palace. But when I eventually did go to Swamp Palace, I panicked a little and just sort of autopiloted my way over to the Hylia Island and didn't realize what I had done until a little bit too late. But then immediately after Hobo, just like, all right, I was planning to go there anyway, I'm just going to go there now.
And it really paid off for you with the win here from our featured runners, at least. You did end up coming, well, was it 7th place overall? Because it was a jet seed, definitely a really fast thing. But did you find this fun?
Oh, absolutely. And Triforce is almost always a fun time. It's like usually just fun, lighthearted silliness. You're just trying to grab as much as you can without really thinking about finishing the game too hard. So I always enjoy playing Triforce seeds.
Definitely. Slim Kirby now has 39 out of 40. Dr. Bob still looking for that final piece. So it is between those two.
Yeah, I guess breaking his heart that he hasn't got the last piece, but he is going to find it here in that purple chest, and probably going to kick the edge of his table for not having it earlier. But it did seem like all the big locations had something for you. I mean, Catfish had something, the purple chest had something. It really seemed like, as chat pointed out earlier, that the seed had health, progression, or a Triforce piece. Thank you, Chloe Brower, for that insight. How did you feel about that?
I mean, it's like thrilling. These kinds of seeds are like just really exciting to play because you feel like every chest you open, you feel like you've accelerated a little bit.
And I've got to tell you, while I was asking that question, Kirby and Bob finished neck and neck. Kirby getting it just right before Bob. We're going to see if we can get them in here for an interview. At any point, Aaron, did you feel behind in the race?
I mean, not really. I felt like I wasn't really making any major errors, just like a couple of minor execution issues, which I'll attribute half to some rest because I haven't seriously played the game for a little while, and half because I've recently switched to playing on a real Super Nintendo and I'm still getting used to it.
Hello?
Hey, welcome, Dr. Bob, and GG's on the finish. Way to go, Bob.
That was a thing. I did a thing.
I've got to ask you, you were at 39 pieces right before Aaron was able to find his 40th. Did you scramble a little bit for that last piece?
Yeah, well, my 39th piece was in Turtle Rock, and then, once I got to Laser Bridge and counted up my items, I was like, I'm out, so let's go somewhere else. And so I went to Spike Cave thinking, man, it would be so awesome if it was in Spike Cave. And it wasn't. So then I started rounding up my overworld stuff. Did King's Tomb, and then I went over to Sick Kid because I got 2 bottles up there. And then I did the Smith chain, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it on the purple chest just because that's what my sprite is. That's what's going to happen. And that's what happened. So there we go.
It was a little bit of luck there to find it in the last purple chest. Yeah, it did see you scrambling around a little bit, and I was like, man, his heart must be pumping. And
was there one on the mushroom? No,
was not.
Mushroom was a bee, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I felt good about holding the mushroom until I did the fake powder, even though I ended up getting the powder eventually. Now, I didn't sequence break up Death Mountain when I normally would have, because when I saw the lamp, I was like, well, that means the boots are going to be available, and I'm going to want to find those before I go, digging around everywhere. So I held off on that until I found the boots, and I was like, woo!
Yeah, had the pieces been a little bit kinder to you, you would have taken that first place of our featured runners. Unfortunately, finishing up Turtle Rock and then those overworld checks just didn't check out. You were in the lead for quite a little while, and Aaron just, that Pyramid Fairy play was fantastic.
Yeah, the Pyramid Fairy play was the next thing I was going to do, actually. Right after Purple Chest, if I didn't have it, I was doing Pyramid Fairy.
Yep, there was one piece in there.
And we are going to see if we can get Slim Kirby in here. Looks like he's currently in the setup room. While we wait for Rick to find that last piece that is currently eluding him. Big G, have there been any other finishers?
Yeah, most definitely. Quite a few. I'll catch us up a little bit. Slim Kirby and Dr. Bob both respectively finished in 19th and 20th place. Since then, we have gotten Yellow, White, the Red in 21st with a 1:24.52. P-Train in 23rd with a time of 1:26.44. And it goes all the way down to a 25th place. But joining us now, I believe, is Slim Kirby. Slim Kirby, GG.
Thank you very much.
GG's definitely on that race. What did you think of the seed?
Very friendly. It was a very nice seed, a very linear progression, aside from the whole flippers to moon pearl thing. But yeah, it was a really nice seed. I enjoyed going through that.
Yeah, it seemed like it was very kind to you guys, and it seemed like all of the big checks had a lot to give back to you guys. So you guys must have felt pretty good. We got to be honest, we were hoping for that pedestal play, but we unfortunately didn't get it. I know one of you guys checked the pedestal, and it did have a Triforce piece on it. Yep.
When I never found the flute, I was like, well, that's not happening.
Yeah, before I went into Swamp, I think I was, as I was going through Palace of Darkness, I kind of was thinking, well, at this point we're getting into the 30s. I know Swamp's going to have a lot of pieces as it is. I don't think I'm going to really make a play for the pedestal if I don't have to, and that's when I started skipping bosses if I had all the Triforce pieces from the dungeon and items from the dungeon. So yeah, I didn't think pedestal was going to be an option anyway.
Yeah, I really feel like I should have skipped Armos Knights, because I was thinking to myself, well, I might have to go to GT, but nah, it's really unlikely in this particular scenario.
Ooh, and Rick taking a death here in Ice Palace, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll get himself up to speed here.
Okay, so how many Triforce pieces were on the left side of Swamp?
0.
Sweet.
That's probably what made it so close between us right there at the end.
Everybody decided not to do it, and it was the right call for everyone.
Yeah, I checked them just out of curiosity. I was too close to 40 at that point. I'm like, well, if I could end this early, that'd be worth it if I just went ahead and checked them, but no, they were both rupee drops.
But I mean, you know, our finish times, you and me, Slim Kirby, we were fairly close together, 123, and not too far off of like almost 10 minutes off of second place. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of variance in these finish times, except for that one outlier. I'm not going to say, you know, somebody's 6 minutes ahead of everyone else.
The 106 did definitely shock, but it just seemed like probably made all the checks that they needed to and had really good sense about it. Rick did find that 40th piece of Triforce, so he does finish here. Big G, do we have finish time for him officially?
Most definitely. He has finished in 28th place with a time of 1:30:32.
Outstanding job, an outstanding job by all of you guys. It's always wonderful to see all the dark rooms that you guys do and how much work you guys put into A Link to the Past. Do you guys do a lot of practice to get ready for these runs?
I mean, well, I'm just doing rando stuff basically every day for no reason. I'm a huge nerd. So there you go.
Hey, you might be a huge nerd, but Big G and I were talking before, and we're actually really big fans, so we're a little starstruck right now, so excuse us if we stutter a little bit. But let's see if we can get Rick in here to finish everything up. I want to see if chat had any questions to ask any of the runners, see if there's anything that they wanted to know.
As for me, when it comes to dark rooms, I'm very comfortable doing dark rooms. I'll still generally go for the lamp, though, if I know where it is, just because you could save a little bit of time if, you know, your opponents are, you know, still trying to fumble around those dark rooms trying to find stuff. So that's why I went for the lamp, although honestly, after thinking about it, I probably could have maybe saved a little more time if I just didn't go for it, because I don't think Palace of Darkness is really that bad.
Oh, so I see that question right there. So the cell door and escape. I now know why you don't fight the ball and chain guard in the door of the escape. I sat there for like 30, 40 seconds with a text box coming up over and over. I'm like, what do I do?
Oh no.
I'll have to watch back and see that.
Yeah, for me, I would have got the lamp, but by the time it was convenient and I was ever in the area to get it, I had already done all the hard stuff with the lamp anyway, so I just let it be.
It seemed like by the point that you guys would have needed the lamp, most of you had already sequence broken Palace of Darkness or any other dark room, definitely Eastern Palace you guys had already done, and the only thing left for it was Turtle Rock, which you guys have in the bag, so you know, it didn't seem worth it at the end.
It wasn't necessary to do the dark rooms in Eastern Palace, was it?
Was not. Nope.
Yeah, there were 3 items around front.
I mean, I went to the back because I'm a dumb, but I also got 90 rupees back there. So
yeah, that's why I did it. I went back there too just to get the rupees because I was thinking Zora, which I don't think was worth it either. So whoops.
Yeah, we did see almost everyone farmed up some rupees at some point, and then you get all the rupee drops afterwards, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
There were some weird item changes. Like, for example, there were multiple 100 rupees in the pool, which is not a thing. I'm assuming that might have been like several big 20s compressed into one for the purposes of getting 50 Triforce pieces in there. But I'm not sure how the actual item distribution was.
Yeah, if I had to guess, some of the hard pieces were condensed into hard containers as well, because it felt like there were a whole bunch of those. But
right.
I'm just guessing.
I know there was at least 150, which I think was in the back of pod.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it, but I noticed how much it gave me.
Yes, of course, you have to keep the single arrow and the single rupees just for the looks.
I mean, the memes are real.
I just want to point out that Dr. Bob and I have the same collection rate.
Nice. 133, huh?
Yep.
All right, so it doesn't seem like we are going to get Rick in here, but guys, do you guys have any thoughts on the seed? Any shout-outs you guys want to do?
I thought it was pretty hilarious that all 7 of the Uncle items were before the 10-minute mark. But aside from that, no, it was a good race. I really enjoyed playing this, and I'd like to see more Triforce hunts in the future for, just daily races and in general, because they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like Triforce Hunt because, in general, like if you look at it in general, it's gonna, although it's kind of a high variance, like you can get real lucky, the worst times aren't going to be that bad because there's a lot of leeway in terms of things you can miss and things like that. So even if you're not really experienced or very, very strong at this game, like I don't know myself, because I mean I'm okay, but I'm not as good as most of these runners. But you can do fairly well just checking as many things as you can as quickly as you can most of the time.
And to build off that, Triforce generally doesn't require you to do a lot of bosses or difficult dungeon exploration. You can usually get away with relying on the overworld if you're uncomfortable with the more difficult execution elements of this game, especially in the regular 20-30 mode. So it's a very nice mode for beginners to get used to the game in that respect as well.
So one thing I realized as I was going along, and I'm going to recommend this to everyone, make sure that, if you go to a boss and you kill it and it drops an item you don't want, just mirror out. Especially if you're not planning on going to Ganon's Tower or the pedestal.
It did seem like a lot of the bosses were dropping compasses. That seemed to be the item of the day for the bosses to hold on to.
Don't grab the item, though, because after you grab the item, you can't mirror out anymore.
I will definitely keep that in mind for any future runs that we have. Also to keep in mind, please go ahead and follow these runners as they're all amazing at Link to the Past randomizers. You guys all did a great job. You all should feel really proud of yourselves. And also, the trackers did an amazing job, guys. Please go ahead and give them a follow as well. Shout outs to the trackers. Do you guys have any last thoughts before we wrap everything up?
No, thanks a lot for having us on, and thanks for commentating and the insights you provided to the chat, I'm sure. And see you later.
I echo those comments.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. This was fun.
All right, and thank you once again to those runners. Big G, any last thoughts from you?
I don't know, man. I think everything wrapped up quite well. Our runners finished, all with respectable times, way under the amount of time it would take me. I know it takes me to do a 20 collection, the same at most an hour and a half. So GG to all our runners. Thanks to the chat for hanging out with us.
Before we go, we did get Rick in here. Rick, GG on the race.
Thank you. Just spent too much time in places that were not that valuable.
So what did you think of the seed overall?
I think the one Triforce piece I found in all of Turtle Rock kind of summarizes it. Went to the wrong place and should have went to where the lucrative items were. I had no rupees for it and couldn't really farm to get it.
It was also unfortunate that you waited so long to hit Thieves Town and Palace of Darkness, which both had the boots and the mirror, and that definitely limited you a lot.
Yeah, I don't... Spending the rupees on Zora to get a piece of heart was unfortunate, especially since it left me in rupee dire straits for rupees for much of the seed, and then just delaying the head of Thieves Town because I wanted to check other places that I thought were a little more lucrative.
Yeah, and with Triforce Hunt, a lot of the overworld checks really do come in handy. It just seemed like a lot of the route that you took just didn't seem to pay off for you, but it's all a learning experience in the end. Did you end up having a good time with the seed, though?
Yeah, just unfortunate when you're still only at 30 Triforces and you see the first dot done hit. It's like, oh no, I know I did something wrong with that seed.
To be fair, that person was, 6 minutes ahead of everyone else?
Right, but it tells you you're definitely on the wrong path.
Or that person got absurdly lucky. I'm going to go with the right path, though, because all of you guys are amazing runners. Do you have any shout-outs or any more comments for chat before we wrap everything up?
No, just GG to everyone who finished ahead of me. It's, Triforce Hunt, I obviously got to change my strategies if I decide to do another Triforce Hunt. I know that for certain.
Yeah, and we'll be looking forward to you participating in that Triforce Hunt. I'm sure that your time will go up exponentially. I know I've watched some of your races before, and you are fantastic. So I'll be rooting for you in the future.
Appreciate it.
That's absolutely no problem. Big G, I think that wraps everything up for us.
Yeah, I think it does. And again, I want to thank everyone for racing. I want to thank our trackers. I want to thank you most definitely for this amazing commentary.
Oh, no, I could not have done it without you. You set me up beautifully many, many times. Rick, once again, thank you for taking part in this and being one of our featured streamers. It was an absolute pleasure to interview you. And guys, I think that is going to do it for us here. Please remember to follow everyone and have yourselves a wonderful, fantastic night.